If your creative soul is too big for just one hobby, you are in the right place.
Welcome back to Magic in the Making Inc. I'm Carrie, and around here, we don't choose which craft we explore. We do them all. Our mission to conquer the multi-craft studio chaos so we can actually make some magic. Well, hey, welcome back to the channel. I am Carrie. I am the owner and maker behind Magic in the Making. And this afternoon, as promised, we are working on some projects from Scrappy Boy Stamps. Specifically, I am going to be doing a mini album using the products from the Bound in Magic collection, which I was super excited about. And so if you would like to follow along, I'm going to show you what we're making. Okay, if you did not catch our earlier video where we did the unboxing, please feel free to go back and check that out. But this is the album that we're going to be making today. We have purchased the entire collection of the Bound by Magic, and it is not disappointing, friends. So we do have the stamp and die sets. And the background dies. This is the album we're going to be making. These are all of the pieces for that album. And I'm going to go through all of the stuff. I've already pre-cut this, to kind of save us a little bit of time. And instead of having you watch me color, I am going to use the die cuts, that came, with the collection today. But we have all of the papers, all of the things, and I want to show you what we did. So feel free to pause this video after this so you can kind of get a feel for the cutting guide. I will drop that in the description box below and tell you what you need. So what you're going to do first is it's this shape right here. This is the actual book album shape. And I cut these in a few different colors. You don't necessarily have to, but that is what I did. So I made 2 of the outside covers in this green. I did 2 of the inside covers. And hilariously, I did them in just slightly different, but you know what? One's going to be the front, one's going to be the back, and nobody is ever going to know because the pattern is the same on this side where it is not the same on that side, but that's okay. So we have 2 of those for the inside covers. You could make these the same. You can make them different. I chose to make them different. And then I decided I wanted to do about 5 pages. And so I cut 10 of these. Now what these are is these are this same page, and then I just took this deckled edge and cut off the ends of them. So there's 2 different styles of the deckled edge. I used both because I was like, why not? We'll try it and see because I wanted these to have kind of that torn paper look to them. So I did that. And these are just an 80-pound cardstock. Nothing fancy. Then I went ahead and I cut, how many did I cut? I cut 2 for each cover and 2 for each of the pages. So 6, sorry you guys, there's 7 total, so 14 of these. I cut 2 of these gold strips. I cut 4 of the book corners, 1 of this outline shape, and 1 of the inside gold trichetta. Now I am going to go ahead and I'm going to glue kind of everything down now, because I have found that for me it's easier if I glue things down when they're flat. And so we're going to go ahead and take care of that. I'm going to start with this trichetta right now. Fortunately, this isn't like a box or anything that we're making, so I don't have to worry too much. Don't go crazy with your glue though, because you don't want it seeping all out. I do like this particular glue for this type of project though, simply because it is so finely detailed, and that's really helpful to me. Okay, there we go. And we have our triqueta on there. And then what I do with these is I go ahead and I adhere these together first, and then put them in between the pages. That way I can get the holes lined up just really, really well. Now, if I was doing some sort of box or something like that, I might use something even more sturdy than just glue, but I'm not doing anything like that. So I think for me, this is fine. This is the Barely Arts glue. It's their precision, the precision glue, I think is what it's called. And this is the precision glue press, I believe is what this is called. And that is from My Sweet Petunia. And I will tell you that the one thing about this is that it comes with these, it comes with 2 bottles of these Nuvo glue. One is a full bottle, one is an empty bottle. I don't particularly care for the Nuvo glue. It's fine, but it would definitely not be my preference. And so I just took the empty bottle and I refill it with the Barely Arts precision glue. That is for precision work specifically. I would say it's probably my glue of choice. If I'm not worried about precision and I'm just worried about other things, I'm so sorry, you can hear my dogs just being crazy in the background. They've decided now's a great time to run around and be wild because of course mom is filming. Okay, so anyway, that's what they do. That's what they do, guys. Okay. Now we almost have these together. And I've got just those 2 more left to go. I'm going to go ahead and finish those off camera, and then I'm going to put these all together and show you what they look like. Okay, so now that we have everything all cut, we are going to start putting this together. So this is our cover page. We're going to go ahead. I've already gone ahead and adhered the spine for that. I am going to use our Beacon 3-in-1 glue. This is a bit of a hardier glue, and I really kind of prefer it for tacking down like really, you know, heavy pages, that kind of thing. Not a great detail glue, which is why we use the sorry, this is the Beacon, the Barely Arts precision glue for the other things, but for this purpose, I really find that this is the best liquid adhesive for this. You can also use like a red line tape, that would work great, or you know, just any of the like really, really sticky double-sided tapes. Okay, so we have that together. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to adhere the little gold accent pieces. These are going to go on these outside corners here. And we've got 2 of those. And honestly, this is probably a little shimmerier. I don't think that's really a word, but we're going to pretend that it is. Then I would normally go with this type of a book. but I just wanted to kind of make this one really fun and funky. And so we're gonna do that. Okay. And then we're gonna take our triqueta and we're gonna put our triqueta down right in the middle, just like it would be on this book of shadows. Okay. Now you could, in theory, like add some dimension, pop this up, do some things. I'm not going to do that with mine, but you definitely could. Okay, now that that cover is put together, I am going to set that aside and I'm going to show you what I've already done, which is a couple of these pages. So for these pages, basically, you're going to take a spine piece and then you're going to take 2 of the pages and we're going to adhere those together. Now, for my own purposes, what I have been doing is I want to make sure that my spines line up exactly. So I have just been taking a single piece of that. I have laid the spine down and I'm going to lay this down so that the stitching is down. Wait, am I doing that right? Am I doing that right, y'all? I feel like I did it backwards somehow. Did I do it right? Okay. No, I did it right. I just was crazy. Okay. So, you're going to have one that goes up, one that goes down. And I have just layered that right on top, making sure that my corners match up. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to lay it again right on top to make sure that my holes are matching up. And I'm just going to take my beacon glue. I'm going to run it just in a line down here. And I'm going to flip mine over. Again, making sure all my stuff stays in alignment because I don't want it to shift or get weird. Because I want these to line up. And we're going to lay that down. And once that's down, then I'm just going to take my glue and I want to make sure that all of my edges are really well glued so that they don't come apart. And then a little bit in the middles. And we'll lay this other piece down right on top of that, making sure that all of our little edges line up. And then once we put those together, you'll see that those edges line up perfectly. And I cut, like, if you can tell, and I don't know if you can, but each of these is a little different. So I'm going like one of this scallop and one of this other scallop. So the torn edges are a little different on every single one of them. So they'll look like that when they're all together, so that the edges will all look just slightly different. And we're gonna go ahead and do the rest of that off camera. And this is the part where we start with embellishing. Now these corners are just slightly rounded, so we are going to, when we're adding things like pockets and little dies, we are going to want them to line up as much as we possibly can. Okay. Again, you can use a liquid adhesive for this. You can use a tape runner. You could use pretty much whatever your heart desires. Now this one is just a titch longer than I would like it to be, so I am just going to take my scissors and trim off this end to match that scallop right there. And then we've got a great little pocket we're going to put some things in. I'm fine with some of these being just somewhat plain, but I also have a feeling I'm going to want there to be some, you know, embellishments to them and whatever. And so that's what we're going to do now. Is we are going to take some of these papers and we are just going to embellish them just a touch. Okay. Again, we're going to want these to line up. Oh, I cut that just a little bit longer than I intended to. There we go. Let's see. The crystals. I think the crystals would be really pretty on there. And fortunately, we have this. So this is 5.5, and it is 4 wide. And obviously, this whole thing is 4 wide, so we don't want it to be quite 4. I want mine to be about 2.5. And this is 6 by 8, so I'm just going to cut 2.5 inches off. There we go. And then, what did I say this was? 5.5? Pretty sure I said it was 5.5. 5.5. And because of this, I do want this scallop edge here. So I am just going to match that up and cut that scallop edge off. And I just have to make sure which of the scallops it is. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Yeah, it is. Okay. So for this, we're gonna just line that scallop up so that it matches. Wait, which way did I say it went, you guys? I said it went this way, right? That's not what I said. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. And we'll lay that down on here. And even though this isn't the side I am going to use, it is the side that I am going to do the scallop on because of the way that the paper, we did that paper. So I do want that to line up perfectly. Okay. And I did it this way. And we're just gonna, oop. Yeah, sometimes Sometimes you get it in one, and sometimes you just don't. Okay. Okay, it'll be good enough one way or another. And it is not quite perfect, but that's okay, because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to line up this edge so that the edge is perfect, and then I'm going to put a band right there. And there we have that, which lines up just how we want it to. And even though we have this little gap right here, we're okay with it, because like I said, I'm going to put a band right over the top, and you'll never know it was there. I think we're going to go with this kind of purpley gradient. And there we have, oh yeah, there we go. I do like that. I think that's really cute. So we're gonna just take this and lay it right over top. Little edge that's like just peeking out over the top, and I want that just to line up really well, so I'm just going to trim it off. There we go. All right. And I don't know that I want that to be like together, so I think I'm going to put that one towards the back, maybe the middle, haven't decided. Yeah, I think it's going to go there. Okay, and I am going to fast forward through this so you do not have to sit and watch me do all of this. Okay, now that we're done with putting the book together, I do want to go through and add some stamps to them, just because I think that some of these things are really fun and I really want to add them. So we're going to start with this waterfall one. I've put a bunch of dimension on this, and so stamping might be a little bit harder. I love this Fueled by Moonlight mild irritation, so we're going to put this on there. And I'm going to, what I do with them is I just kind of lay them down here, and then this looks like the right size. Yes. Okay. And I'm going to grab here, God, you guys, my desk is such a disaster and I can't find anything. Okay, so we have Fueled by Moonlight and Mild Irritation. I think I'm gonna put that one right here on the top. Oh yeah, that one turned out so cute. Okay. And just making sure that we clean our stamps and put them away. These stamps are amazing. They are super detailed. So the one thing I will say is, like, I'm gonna get out a little stamp cleaner, just clean my stamp chamois with that a little bit, just because I want to make sure I get all of this VersaFine Clear Nocturne ink, which is the black. The VersaFine Clear. I just want to make sure I get that really good, because these are such a good stamp and so detailed, but I want to make sure we don't leave any ink in there. Okay. All right. Let's see, what else we got? You've got the Magic Within. That's one. Cubic Cursed. Stay Magical. My Aura Has Boundaries. Okay, there's some really good ones. Currently accepting offerings. Okay. I think let's do maybe Sisters by Fate, Bound by Magic. 0 hex given. Let's do a 0 hex given. This one's going to be a little smaller. Oh, that one's not quite the right size. This one should be better. Okay, there we go. I am only doing these in black this time. We could, in theory, do these in a different color, but I am not going to. And I'm just going to put that one up there. Okay. Again, just making sure we clean this really well right away. If you are struggling with your stamping, I'm going to tell you, do not be intimidated. There's a few things you can do to kind of make this easier. The first thing I'm going to tell you is right size your stamp. Your blocks are kind of made specifically for you know, certain sizes, and you know, if you use a block that's way too big, you're gonna struggle more. You really are. You are gonna struggle more than you are if you right size your stamp. Also, oh, see, I got a little carried away there, a little wonky. You don't have to press super hard, which is what I just did, because I was worried about the dimension behind. You don't have to press super hard, and so That is also a key. One thing else I will say is just make sure that you condition your stamps before you're stamping. Let's see, how about, ooh, not moody, just magical. Okay, I love this, not moody, just magical. And we're gonna do this on 2 separate ones because I want one at the top and one at the bottom. Okay. Oh, I love this one. Not moody. Oh my gosh, I love this one. Just magical. Okay, love that one. Super cute. Okay. So I am going to go ahead, I'm going to finish stamping these. I'm not going to make you watch me do them all, but that is what we're doing. And then I'm going to go back and we'll do